Uh, NBA trading deadline came, went. Knicks stand pat. A lot of deals made in the NBA. We'll talk about that in a second. We'll get Zenray in here, get his opinion. Let's get it. What up, Nick family? How y'all doing today? The NBA trade deadline came and went, and the Knicks stand pat. Management, either they were asleep at the wheel or there was not a deal that caught their attention. Either way, I am so happy that they did not trade Cam Reddish. That was my biggest fear. We kept hearing that a three-team trade between the Knicks, Lakers, and another team bringing back Gordon Dragic, and to Raptors, bringing back Gordon Dragic over here. I'm happy that didn't happen. A lot of missed opportunities out there that we missed out on. But let's get right to it. I'm Juby the Tubi. You're here with family above everything. You already know. I know there's a lot of angry Knicks fans out there that the Knicks didn't make any moves today. I'm a little bit disappointed, I got to be honest with you. But I foresee this summer some things are going to happen. But I have no idea, guys, what Tom Thibodeau is going to do with this rotation coming up. But let's get Zenray in here, get his opinion on the NBA trading deadline. Teams went off. Kristaps Porzingis got a new home. A lot of teams did a lot of moves that helped them. But the Knicks decided that it wasn't enough out there, or they weren't trying to give up too much. But I'll get his take right now and see what he has to say. Salute to you guys in the chat. Welcome.
The Nets acquired Ben Simmons in a massive big trade. Back in the day, it was the New York Knicks in the front and in the back pages of the newspapers. And now it seems like the Brooklyn Nets have taken that over. Welcome, Juby.
What's up, Zenray? I'm overhearing your conversation. It doesn't matter if Ben Simmons is going to Brooklyn. Well, now it does. If the Knicks would have made a move for a second rounder, they still would have been on the back page. Because the fact of the matter is, guys, New York City loves its Knicks. I know Brooklyn is in Brooklyn, the Nets are in Brooklyn, but they did good today. They got their man, Ben Simmons. Philly got James Harden. Hell of a deal for both clubs. But we'll get to all that stuff in a second. Salute to you guys at Zenray Sports TV. Hope you guys are doing good. Like I told my chat, the NBA trade deadline came, went. The Knicks stand pat. Maybe there was something out there that they wanted, but the teams were asking for too much. Too much. Excuse me, I can't talk today. I am just grateful, Knick Nation, and I know you guys, a lot of angry Knick fans out there, and like I said, I'm a little bit disappointed myself. But I am grateful that Cam Reddish is still with the team, that we didn't trade him in that Gordon Dragic package, because that was an imbecile move. And the only issue I have is that Kemba Walker and Alex Burke are still with the organization. What's your take on today's events?
Surprised. I mean, I was joking around yesterday that we'll probably get a G League player in return just to joke about that. But sometimes you need imagination, and it seems like Mr. Worldwide West and Scott Perry and Leon Rose are lacking that unless they have some plan that we're not aware of. Obviously, the trading deadline is over. I kind of predicted that the Knicks will be probably moving up quickly at the starting point guard. When Rose comes back, he's the backup. And but still, it doesn't solve the problem. With you still have Kemba technically on it, so I'm thinking they're gonna ride Kemba all the way through with Fournier. It doesn't solve the problem how Cam Reddish is gonna get minutes, and I'm pretty sure Cam's people are going to be talking to the Knick organization. Hey, you didn't make any moves. Is my man player going to get any playing time? If not, they're going to be asking for a trade next year. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. That's up to Leon Rose, Scott Perry, and Worldwide West. It's a lot of lacking of imagination. I don't understand how you don't even move Kemba, release him. I haven't heard that yet, unless they plan to do that in the next few hours. And then you're keeping Burks here, and then Fournier. Where is there room for more time? Obviously, we know Obi Topping never really gets that much time. Quickly hasn't been playing well. Quickly has been playing so bad this year. He wasn't even invited for the rookie second team to play against the new rookies. It's embarrassing in that sense. Quickly hasn't played. He's shooting 20-something% from three, and he's shooting like 30% from the field. I mean, I saw his stats. It's really, really bad. Grimes is probably the guy who probably has been playing better out of all of them, but Grimes is a rookie. Topping is a second-year man with Quickly. Cam Reddish hasn't really got the time of day. I don't understand where this Knicks organization is going, Juby. The only thing I know that Joel Embiid has himself a point guard finally that he wants to play with. And it seems like a lot of other teams made moves here as well. And the Knicks were just standing pat. Is there a game plan? Is Leon Rose playing chess? Or is he forgetting how to play and he's playing Chinese checkers? Because he's playing Chinese checkers, he's going backwards instead of forward. Juby, I don't understand. Maybe you can make some sense out of this.
I don't even know where to begin, guys. To be honest with you, Zenray, I myself expected Kemba Walker. Maybe, like I said, that's maybe going to happen. But I expected at least Kemba Walker to be off this team. Or maybe he's going to do, maybe an injury is going to come about that they're going to just say that he's hurt and he's going to go on the injured list and then he's going to be gone for like 15, 20 games. And then he's just going to mentor the young kids. I honestly don't know what's going on. But I will tell you, Cam Reddish is going to play. RJ Barrett is going to be out. He's out indefinitely tonight's game. They already announced it. He's probably going to be out about 4 or 5 games minimum. So we will definitely see some Cam Reddish action tonight against Golden State. Without a doubt in my mind, we're going to see that. And as far as the point guard situation, I think he's playing chess, man. I think that a lot of teams were asking for the house to get their players. Like Miles Turner from Indiana. I heard they were so interested in him, and Barnes from Sacramento. But they probably wanted draft picks with our young guys to take back these contracts. And Leon Ross said, you know what? Let me wait for the summer because Dallas just made a trade. They shipped out Kristaps Porzingis and they end up with Spencer Dinwiddie, another point guard, ladies and gentlemen, another one where they have Brunson, they have Dinwiddie, and they have the man Luka Doncic. So with that being said, not only that, Spencer Dinwiddie is making, I think they said, 30 million next season. They can't afford Brunson. So in my mind, I think the Leon Ross ties with the Brunson family, they know something we don't. They can't really discuss it. I think Brunson's gonna be our free agent pickup
I didn't
this
say
summer,
next year.
next
I
year,
agree.
and they're gonna offer him $80 million along that line for 4 years,
Well,
3 years maybe.
it's
You
gonna
know?
be like when Lonzo signed with Chicago, that sign and trade type of thing, and then you negotiate a contract with the player, and it seems like he's gonna get $20 million. Now the
Yeah.
question is, I know that Lonzo got like 21, maybe 22 from Chicago. At this juncture, I don't want to go back, but if you would have gave Lonzo that money, is Lonzo a better player than Brunson? I
Yeah.
don't know, man. But at this time, is that it seems like Brunson is the target next year. Let's cross our fingers to see if we get him. My concern right now, there's a logjam of rookies who are sitting back and waiting to get some playing time. My concern is to get these young kids some playing time. If I was a betting man, I would say the Knicks have really no shot of making that even
The
playing.
playing time. Agreed.
I because they made no moves to improve unless Kemba Walker rejuvenates himself and starts scoring 25 points a game, starts playing more games, starts playing more minutes. And we have to wait for RJ to come back, and then Burks all of a sudden reignites to the old Burks, and then Fournier, 3 games good, 5 games bad. Maybe he'll have more consistency to himself. That's the only way I see that happening. And obviously, Julius Randle continue to play the way he's been playing the last 3 or 4 games. So there's a lot of question in Nick Nation. I don't understand where they're going. The identity, as you always mention, is really up in the air because we don't know. Are they going with the youth this year to find out who they have? Play Deuce McBride. I've been saying that for the last couple of shows. Give this kid a shot. Listen, we know G League competition to NBA is two different things. But Thibodeau, you have to find out, besides him practicing with you, what you have in him against real tough competition. And this is a time to find out until you get Barrett back. And obviously, you have no true point guard besides McBride right now because all your point guards are injured. Quickly is not a true point guard. So start quickly and then have McBride come off the bench until Rose comes back. And then you can have McBride being the third point guard coming off the bench. I don't understand. Thibodeau is really, I feel like he hasn't learned anything about, playing these young kids. I think he's stuck in his own ways. I figured that, a couple of years from not coaching, he would have learned something. But it's obviously Tibbs is trying to run a show with not having the appropriate talent here. He thinks he can make Julius Randle the superstar, which he did last year. He thinks he can make Randle, but at the end, defense wins you games. And by having Kemba and Fournier, the top perimeter players on your court who play Ole defense, you're gonna have problems. Look at the scores. The teams have been scoring 115 plus points a game in the last I don't know how many games. So we have a problem defensively. We need to tie that down. Players like Grimes and Deuce McBride are defensive minded players. You get what you get from them offensively. Let's see what these young kids have, and hopefully by next year we won't see Fournier or Kemba Walker within this lineup, Julie.
I hope Kemba Walker's not here tomorrow. Honestly, Fournier can stay for me for the rest of the year. He's not a bad player. The guy can shoot when he's on. He's on. You know what I mean? He's just not built for New York. And you guys got to understand. I've been talking about this all season. This swag. He don't have that swag. My guy Cam Reddish went on Instagram today, and Zenray sent it to me, and I looked it up, and I felt moved and motivated by his picture. He basically said, I wouldn't ask to be here if I didn't think I was built for this. And when you hear something like that, that gets you amped up, hyped. I don't know what words to put. Because when I heard that, I was like, give that man that playing time. Let him play with RJ. They used to play in Duke together. They know their game. But it's up to Tom Thibodeau, guys. Let's be honest. Tonight they play Golden State. We already know this is going to be a loss. You know what I would like to see tonight? I would like to see Emmanuel quickly as my starting point guard tonight.
Well, that's
And
gonna
he,
happen. Well, no, Brooks is still here. Yeah, he's a Brooks
but,
guy. You're right.
but this is what I'm saying. You
No,
just the NBA trading deadline just came and went, and you're gonna show like if he comes tonight and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Emmanuel quickly is starting," and then we see McBride get some minutes, and we see Cam. Everybody's gonna sit there and say, "Let's do it. We got it." But
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. If Kemba is still in the roster, obviously tonight, which he is, Kemba is going to be starting. Fournier is going to be starting unless Kemba can't do because of his knees. Then it's going to be Brooks. We know the formula that all the coaches at NBA knows already, and they drawing it up. Okay, we know Thibodeau. We know what he makes no adjustments. He has to make some adjustments tonight. I don't expect us to win this game. And listen, I think we're 9 points underdog. I'm not a betting man. I'm not saying you guys out there to bet, but if you want to put money in your bag, you take Golden State, you give the points, and the Knicks will lose by 10, 15 points tonight easily.
are
So
you're taking you're taking it easy on us. I think we're losing by 20 plus tonight,
well, I'm
easy.
just saying, if you're a betting man, I think the points last time I saw was 8.5, 9 points. I mean, that's generous. But I think they have a few players out as well. We'll go over that as we go. But the Knicks make no moves at the trading deadline. I think the only moves is probably to fill that last spot, a G League player, maybe Juby or Zenray will be at the end of the bench as one of the assignees. I mean, hey, you get what you get. I mean,
I'll,
once the Knicks win,
I'll do
at
you
least we
guys.
look good, you know?
I'll do you guys a favor. No harm meant. But I'm just so frustrated that in practice I'll just clothesline Kemba Walker one time. This way he doesn't have to play, and we can get Deuce McBride in here because it's crazy, guys. I mean, I said my wife kept telling, "Why you keep looking at your phone? What's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh, then it's the NBA trading deadline today. I'm hearing this. I'm hearing Porzingis, I'm hearing James Harden, and I'm like, all right, the Knicks are next, the Knicks are next. Zenray texts me, it's 3 o'clock, it's 3:20. Excuse me, it's 2 o'clock, it's 2:20. We got 15 minutes left. We got 5 minutes left. I'm refreshing my phone, and wouldn't you know it, the 4 horsemen, 5 horsemen are asleep at the wheel. They're eating Chinese food. I don't know what they're doing today. Like I said, I'm hoping they know something we don't. They have an inside source. Maybe they're waiting on the Spider. They're hoping and praying that he gets an exit in the first round, and that's why they didn't want to take back any of these crazy contracts. But listen, us as Knicks fans, we're frustrated. We're like you said, Zenray. We're most knowledgeable, but we're the most impatient. But I guarantee, if you ask any Knicks fan today, they're upset. But if the game tonight they turn it on and they see a different lineup and they see Cam Reddish and they see McBride, they'll sit there and they say, you know what? They're going with the young guys. It's okay. We lost this season. We're going to be better next. Now, if we start this game tonight and we see Kemba Walker, we see Alex Burke as the shooting guard, the small forward, with Evan Fournier as your shooting guard, then you already know it's the same broken record. Fool's gold, like my partner likes to say, and it's just becoming ridiculous. I will tell you, you know what I'm really surprised at? That the Knicks didn't, besides the Knicks not making a move, I'm very surprised that the Lakers didn't make a move. That is one team besides Brooklyn and New York that is struggling like you wouldn't believe. That LeBron James is on the bench with Anthony Davis, and Westbrook tried to go give him a hug or to tap his head, and he shook his head and out of there. The man is so frustrated. He's giving it his all, and the Lakers stood pat just like the Knicks did.
Well, the Lakers have a lot of cap issues, and then they have who's going to take on $47 million of Westbrook. I mean, no one
Thank
could
God,
do
thank
that.
God we did it.
And I thought the Knicks were going to be that. The old regime would have probably last minute ditch effort to show the Knicks fans that they did something. They probably would have taken a contract like that and given up Fournier and given up Burks and given up Kemba, and then we'll have to take that salary without the getting no compensation. Look, I mean, at this juncture, I just hope if Thibodeau can give McBride 15 to 20 minutes, which is not going to happen tonight, and if we can give Cam at least 20 minutes tonight, which I don't think that's going to happen either. The Knicks have to know what they have in this youth they have, and I hope Leon Rose kind of nibbles on Thibodeau's ear and says, "Look, man, we have to know what we have with these kids. Right now, there's no way you don't have Barrett tonight. You don't have a lot of your players in Mitchell Robinson, Norris Noel. You don't have Grimes in there. Let these kids play. And the best case scenario is you bring in Cam, you bring McBride, and they put on a show and they score 20, 15 points or whatever the case may be. That way you know what you have in these young kids against professional talent.
Wow, I wish you had Tom Thibodeau's number on speed dial right now because I would tell you to give him a call because that's exactly what every Knick fan wants to see tonight. Like I said, we're all bummed. As a Knick fan, you hear James Harden just got shipped and you guys just got Ben Simmons. I know he's not playing right now, but you got a young point guard who's 25 years old, defensive specialist. His mind is not right. His mental health is not good right now, for those of you out who don't know. So I don't want you guys to think that it was just the Philadelphia 76ers that he has problems with. Prayers out to Ben Simmons to get his mind right. Mental health is a really serious thing out there, guys. So, find somebody to talk to. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not really going to touch up on that too much. But when you hear stuff like that, and you hear all the moves, Halberton, they got him for peanuts. In my opinion, respectfully, Indiana Pacer fans out there, if you ever come across this video, Sabonis is not a bad player. I'm not saying he's great. I'm not saying he's bad, but you just got a young point guard in the making, a Steph Curry in the making, if you will, and you gave up Sabonis. Like, that's like me saying we gave up Julius Randle for Halberton and that was it. I would have been happy. You know what I mean?
I think the Knicks was going to deal with them and make some kind of trade with them. I don't know if it was for Halliburton, but the deal to Sabonis was much cheaper than getting Mitchell Robinson that he had no contract. You already have Sabonis signed for another 2 years. So they saved money that way, and that's what they were looking for. With Mitchell Robinson, because I heard that Mitchell Robinson was a lot of people were asking for him to get Halliburton and whatever other trade chips that were trading, and probably the Knicks were going to get a pick as well. They would have had to give Mitchell Robinson up, but Sabonis made sense money-wise, and I think that's the reason why that happened. But who knows? Look, the Knicks are going to put out what they're going to want to give out. Other teams are going to know that. They're going to find a better suitor who can give them something, not only talent-wise, but economic-wise, where it matches up to their cap. It's all about money, Juby.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not my money. It's not your money, not our money. All we want is a product that's worth watching, worth us saying, that's our team, that's our Knicks, and not to go back to wearing bags over our head because it's just crazy, guys. Like I said, my partner's been giving a lot of praise to Leon Rose and all the guys all season. He's been telling me, Juby, you got to trust them, trust in the regime, trust in them. And I got to be honest with you, my patience ran very thin today. I was ready to get on the train and go down to Madison Square Garden and start throwing rocks because it's just crazy. I mean, I just sat there and I'm like, you did not get rid of one player to make room for Cam Reddish, to make room for Miles McBride. Not one. I wasn't even asking for a Darren Fox. After a few days, I was being realistic. I came back to earth, and I'm like, we're the Knicks. Let's just get a pick for Kemba Walker or Alex Burke. A second-round pick. That's all I was saying. A late second-round pick for Alex Burke or Kemba Walker. And we did not get nothing. We have the same lineup that we did the other night that gave up 82 points at halftime. And now we have R.J. Barrett, who's not going to be there. Like you said, I don't even know if Mitchell Robinson is playing tonight. No, he's not playing. Look at that. Mitchell Robinson's not even playing. It doesn't matter if the guy plays because he's a shadow of his former self. You guys want to talk about Julius Randle being a shadow of his former self from last season? Look at Nerlens Noel.
That's why nobody wanted Nerlens Noel, because I think they were trying to see if they get a deal. Look, they made some mistakes this year, Leon Rose. You re-signed Nerlens Noel, $10 million for a guy who doesn't score your points. He's just a rim protector. You could use that money elsewhere. You signed Burks, the deal you kind of had to because he was your your Swiss Army knife. Then you bring in Kemba, who everybody knew. Nobody in the NBA wanted him. He ended up being in Houston, and then all of a sudden the Knicks think they can get the cheap on the cheap. I think Leon Rose is shopping at the dollar store, so he went and got Kemba Walker on the cheap of a cheap. Well, no NBA team wanted him. No one. The Knicks were desperate for a point guard. Hey, let's take a shot. Let's go to the 99 cent store and get a deal. And they got a deal, but look at the product you're putting on the court. Then you kind of overpay just a little bit for Evan Fournier just to get a score here. And not that Evan Fournier is a bad player. Look, at the end, if you would have had a Chris Paul here being the general of this team, Fournier would be a much better player than that. Even Julius Randle wouldn't be going to, because sometimes you put this all this stress on Julius Randle, and we criticize him, but Julius Randle and RJ Barrett really have no help on that court.
They don't.
Really have no point guard, no general, no direction. It's a ship sailing to nowhere with no compass, no direction, and like you always say, no identity. So what do you expect from this product when you don't have a general at the helm?
Listen, perfect metaphor about shopping in a dollar store. You get what you pay for, ladies and gentlemen. And that money, like you said, Zenray, that money that they gave Noel and that money that they gave Alex Burke, respectfully, nothing against them. They could have offered Lonzo Ball that $20 million. And Lonzo Ball right now would have been throwing alley-oops to Mitchell Robinson, shooting the corner three, because the guy could hit threes in the corner, and he would have been pushing up that tempo. And right now, we would have been where Chicago is, but instead, we're here today.
I wouldn't say being what Chicago is, but
Chicago has Lonzo Ball and DeMarcus DeRozan. Those are their gems. They're the reason their season has turned around. Everybody else is a good what do you call it? A good company team. They're good supporting cast. So the Knicks.
We bought Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier.
Oh yeah. But I'm just saying, if we would have had Lonzo, let's just say Lonzo Ball, and we would have gotten somebody else, a rebounder, a rim protector, Lonzo Ball, R.J. Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, and Julius Randle, I think is a better team than what they have there right now. I think we would have been reverse role, in my opinion, with Emmanuel Quickly and Obi Toppin. But you get what you pay for. You want to take a chance, get a former All-Star. Respectfully, heart goes out to him. He accomplished a lot in the NBA. But you should have gone with a Dennis Schroeder, and I hate Dennis Schroeder. But you should have even gone with somebody like that, who could at least shoot the ball and give you 15, 20 points if you let the man score. But no, you want to go with Kemba Walker. You want to get Alex Burke because you got desperate because you lost the guy to Dallas. What's his name? Oh my God, with the dreads. You lost Reggie. You lost Reggie Bullock to Dallas, and you panicked, and you were like, we got to get these guys back. We got to keep the team together. And you give Alex Burke the money that he wants, and you give Nerlens Noel the money that he wants. It's just crazy.
Bulls also added Caruso, which, look, that guy is.
It's good.
This is the imagination that the Bulls put out there.
And they didn't pay him. They didn't pay him a bag. That's the funny part. If you look at his contract, Alex Caruso, I believe, is making what Alex Burks is making right now. So my thing is, why? Why can't we find players like this? Why can't we find gems that are gonna come here? Like we had a Morris and we traded him for a draft pick. Fine, I get that. But that was a good pickup. Why couldn't we find somebody like that this year that can help us in a point guard position?
And you have to look at Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine, when he was there, he's injured now, obviously, but when he was there, that made that unit strive. You can't say the Knicks team, even if they would have added a couple of those players, it would have been better than Chicago. Chicago has way more talent than the Knicks. Look, I know what you're trying to say, if and that and what, but right now, Lonzo Ball would not have been a difference maker and be a better team than Chicago. They would have picked up somebody else, a decent point guard, whatever. The Knicks needed more than Lonzo Ball. I mean, they added how many players did they add? They added a Caruso. They added the Rosen. They added Lonzo Ball. They added some players to that team. It made a big difference. Obviously, the Knicks picked up Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier. Obviously, if it hit, it was like a home run. But it ended up being like a bunt.
It was a Hail Mary.
Oh man,
That's exactly what it was. All right, if he catches it, we win the game. If he doesn't catch it, we lose. And right now, we're losing. Right now, we're the New York Giants of the NBA. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen.
well, let's say like the Knicks have more issues in their hand coming up tonight. They have a 10 p.m. game here Eastern Standard Time. Is 7 p.m. Game out on the West Coast. The New York Knicks play the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State are 41 and 14, 25 and 4 at home. The Knicks are 11 and 16 away with 24 and 31 record. The Warriors on the home court, like I mentioned, and the Golden State with 36.3 defensive rebounds per game, led by Draymond Green, averaging 6.4. The Knicks are 11 and 16 on the road, like I mentioned. New York are 8 and 16 against opponents over 500. The Warriors won their last game 105-96 in their last matchup back at December 15. Steph Curry was scored 25.5 points per game, averaging 5.5 rebounds. The Knicks have issues. Julius Randle, 19.1 per game, 9.9 rebounds, 5.1 assists per game. And then R.J. Barrett won't be playing tonight, but had 22 points and 5.7 rebounds, 3.2 assists in the last 10 games from New York. Look, our leader and R.J. Barrett is not here. Julius Randle is going to be playing. Let these young kids play. Klay Thompson will be out for rest tonight. Iguodala out with a back injury. Belichick was out, back injury. Draymond Green is going to be out tonight. Wow, so and James Wiseman is going to be out tonight as well.
They're taking a break. They looked at the Knicks and they were like, you know what? They don't got RJ. They're giving up 82 points. Steph, you think you can handle this? Yeah, I'll give you guys 35 points. All right, go take care of the Knicks. That's exactly what's happening.
RJ Barrett, day-to-day ankle. Nerlens Noel, day-to-day knee. Mitchell Robinson, day-to-day back. Derrick Rose, we know he's out on an ankle injury. And Quentin Grimes, day-to-day knee. So the Knicks have a tough game. I mean, I'm going to watch the game, obviously. I want to see if I'm interested to see what Tibb does. And we'll see what these young guys. Give RJ's not there. Cam Reddish should get at least 25,
Agreed.
30 minutes tonight. And if you can sprinkle some Deuce McBride, 15 minutes there to see what he does.
And Jericho. Free my man Jericho, too.
So Jericho is going to play tonight, obviously, because, you're short on the center situation. So I don't know, Juby. We'll see what happens tonight. Unless you have anything else to say. The Knicks. I want to mention something about Porzingis. It shows you that Dallas patience with him, with wearing thin, with his kind of injury prone, and also having these issues with not being the man with the team. I mean, obviously he's not going to say that. Obviously, when you have a player forgot the Dallas player's name already.
Luka Doncic.
Luka, you're not going to get to be the star player. He had his opportunity in New York. The Knicks actually did the right thing by getting rid of him, knowing his skinny frame and mental state with the Knicks organization was not going to last very long. So
his relationship with his brother was just crazy, and that's why Dallas was nuts.
That's third in the wrong place. I don't know what else you want to say, Juby.
I'm just gonna tell you guys. Listen, you always say your little phrases, Henry. So I'm gonna leave it with this: the free agent point guards that the Knicks have a choice of this summer, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to leave you with a little bit of, hopeful wishing, if you will. We got Brunson, we got Colin Sexton, we got Miles Bridges, and we got Zach LaVine. But we know Zach LaVine ain't going nowhere. These are some of the players that the Knicks maybe saved their money for, and why. Oh, and Bradley Beal, of course, which just had a season-ending hand surgery. He's probably done, but another player. So let's just hope. Out of that list I just gave you, I will be happy with a Colin Sexton, a Brunson, Miles Bridges. I don't need him. Zach LaVine. If you get rid of Fournier, I would love Zach LaVine, because then he would be your 1-2 punch with RJ Barrett. But that's not the case. We're gonna roll what we got tonight. Tom Thibodeau, please free the young kids. Let these kids play. The season is a loss. We're not going anywhere. Unless something defensively happens and everything starts clicking and we start winning games, I don't see it. So just let the young kids play, and you'll make everybody here at Nick Nation say, you know what? There's always a better tomorrow. All good. But if not,
I agree. Free the young kids, man. I agree. But let me just get back to the players you mentioned for next year. Let me ask you, what has Worldwide Wes has done? He's this man who has all these connections and make all these trades. It shows you that no one wants to come to New York.
still a bad taste.
And you got Leon Rose holding to that purse like he doesn't want to spend. He wants to receive draft picks. He's holding on to that purse like it's his own personal money. And then you got Worldwide Wes, the so-called god from the NBA that can get anybody. That hasn't happened. So if Worldwide Wes is getting paid on payroll, show me what have you done lately for us, because I haven't seen it. And if you mention all these star names, if you get a Levine in here because you have some kind of connection, let's make some moves. But I think Leon Rose, Worldwide West, Scott Perry, Tom Thibodeau, they have to collaborate together. I think they're all doing their own thing and they're not coming together. I could be wrong, but the proof is in the pudding. We haven't made any moves. I guess he's playing a tight game of chess, obviously, we're not aware of. We're not making no moves. We're not making this roster better. And if you're not doing that, free the young kids, show us what they have, and free Cam Reddish, man. Let him play 30 minutes tonight. Let McBride play 15, 20 minutes tonight. But he's going to go with the same lineup, Kemba, Fournier. RJ's not there, so probably it's going to be Cam.
Burks.
And so on. So I'm confused, Juby. I don't know if you want to elaborate on what I just said.
No, you said it perfectly, man. West was brought here to attract stars. They know stars. Stars are not shining bright here yet. So if I'm Jim Dolan, and God, you know what, Jim Dolan, just sell the team, man. That's why nobody wants to come here. I'm not even going to touch on that because we'll stand here another 35 minutes just talking about that man. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody wants to come here. Although we're making strides and we're trying, play the young kids so other talents in the NBA can say, yo, that team got a young squad over there. Let me go and play with them. Or you can just wait until LeBron James is 41. And then you can get LeBron James here, and he's in crutches, and we can at least say we finally got the king. After when he's in crutches and he can't even move. That's the story of the New York Knicks.
Have respect. RJ is the king of New York.
There you go.
With that said, Juby, never give up, Nick Nation, knowing that the best is yet to come.
Cross your fingers.
Peace and gratitude. Juby, thanks for being on once again.
Thank you, my brother.
See you tomorrow morning at our post-game show at the game tonight at Golden State. Good luck.
All right, brother. Have a great night. Enjoy the game. I'll be up for the first half, man. So let's see what happens. Talk to you later, man.
Thank you.
Later, bro. All right, guys. That was Zen Ray with Zen Ray Sports TV. Still being optimistic like he always is. Still being excited. A little disappointed, you can tell. But like he said, that maybe the best is yet to come. Maybe the sun will come out tomorrow for New York, and hopefully that's this summer. And hopefully Tom Thibodeau has learned and will start playing these young kids, and it starts tonight. But we'll see. But like he said, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the late game at his West Coast, and when they're heading down to Golden State. And as always, family above everything. Let's get it, New York.
We are the New York Knicks. 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 They go.